And now the fourth character, which is the antagonist. And his name is Haman. And he is a man that is moving up. He is moving up. He becomes the prime minister of the Persian Empire. He is powerful. He is wealthy. And it also says, which I think this is so interesting, that he is an Agagite. Just two words, Agagite. What does that matter? And I look, Agagite comes from the word Agag. And then I think, where have I seen that name before? And I go all the way back to 1 Samuel, where Samuel tells Saul, he says, go kill all of the Amalekites. And their king was named Agag. And he told him to kill all of them. And you remember what Saul did? He killed most of them. Just like what we do. We keep most of the laws. We keep most of what God says. But when it comes to our own personal inclinations, well, God will overlook that. Or I've got good reason for not doing this. And we have a situation to where Saul keeps the king alive. And the royal family. And Samuel confronts him and says, you have been displeasing to God because you did not kill these people. And if you know the rest of the story, Samuel himself killed Agag, but it does not say what happened to the rest of the royal family, and some of them must have survived because, get this, 500 years later, the Bible just says, oh, by the way, this guy was a descendant of Agag. And if Saul would have done what he was told to do, you wouldn't have this situation going on here. Doesn't that blow your mind? You remember the verse over in 2 Peter 3:8 where it says, one day with the Lord is like 1,000 years, and 1,000 years is like one day. This really, I heard somebody ask, I thought, a valid question, and the question was this. Why will God punish somebody for eternity when they only have a very short lifespan of a few decades? Why would you have to spend an eternity in punishment or an eternity with God? And one of the answers, and I throw this out there for you, one of the answers is because we never know what repercussions our actions have. Do you understand that you never really know what repercussions your actions have in your life? That's an incredibly heavy thought. Because we like to think that we live here for a few years and we do some good over here and we do some good over there, but we don't really see much that we would have an influence beyond maybe our children, and that would be it. But I don't really believe that anymore. You have a 500-year history here between Saul and Esther. 500 years. But with God, it's just like that. It's an incredible thought, and I think it's a very sobering thought when you realize that there are things that I might do in my lifetime that will have an effect for 500 years. Put that one in your pipe and smoke it. That'll make a difference in your attitude. It'll make a difference in the way you treat people. It will make a difference because you can't know what your influence would be. You remember the verse that's stuck right in between, right in the middle, Exodus 20 of the 10 Commandments? When he says, the sins of the father are visited to the children for the third and fourth generation. And it seems the fifth and the sixth and the seventh and the 10th generation. And I say that, what I think it should do is to put us in a place to where you should say to yourself, my life does matter. Your life does matter. And your life has implications far beyond what you could ever imagine. And so how you treat people is incredibly important. How you conduct your business is incredibly important. How you conduct your life is important. And you need to understand this is important, and you need to treat your life like it's important. Because you do not know what implications that you may set in motion that may far outlive your life. That's just a heavy thought to me. That might roll off your back like water off a duck's back, but that to me is some heavy stuff.